Once upon a time, in the heart of a snow-kissed land, there lived a beautiful princess, named Snow White. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips as red as blood, and her hair as black as ebony. Snow White was so kind and gentle that everyone loved her, except for her wicked stepmother, the queen. The queen was vain and jealous, and she could not bear that Snow White was fairer than her. One day, the queen consulted her magic mirror and asked,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?"
The mirror replied,
"You, my queen, are fair, it is true, but Snow White is 1,000 times fairer than you."
The queen flew into a rage. She summoned her huntsman, and ordered him to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The huntsman pitied Snow White, but he feared the queen's wrath, so he agreed to do as she commanded. The huntsman led Snow White into the forest, but he could not bring himself to kill her. Instead, he told her to run away, and never come back. Snow White wandered through the forest, until she came upon a tiny cottage. She knocked on the door, and 7 dwarfs answered. The dwarfs were kind and generous, and they agreed to let Snow White stay with them. The queen was furious when she learned that Snow White had escaped. She disguised herself as an old woman, and went to the dwarf's cottage. She offered Snow White a poisoned apple, and the innocent princess took a bite. Snow White fell into a deep sleep, and the queen cackled with glee. She was certain that Snow White was now dead. The dwarfs were heartbroken. They placed Snow White in a glass coffin, and mourned her loss. One day, a handsome prince was riding through the forest. When he came upon the dwarf's cottage, he saw Snow White in the glass coffin, and was instantly smitten by her beauty. The prince kissed Snow White, and the magic of the kiss broke the spell. Snow White awoke, and the prince and princess fell in love at first sight. The prince and princess were married, and they lived happily ever after. The queen, however, was not so lucky. She was punished for her wickedness and transformed into a hideous hag. And so, the story of Snow White teaches us that good always triumphs over evil, and that true love can overcome any obstacle. Thank you for joining us for this enchanting tale of Snow White. Don't forget to like and subscribe to MystiVerse TV, for more captivating stories of magic and wonder. Until next time, may your days be filled with courage and adventure.